Hello, and welcome to the 52nd episode of Jazzology, presented by Savage Content. I'm your host, Willard Jenkins, and we're here alternating Fridays, giving two jazz fans the opportunity to compete against each other for a chance to win $100. Each contestant will be asked a question worth 2 points. If they're unable to answer correctly, their opponent will have a chance to steal the question for 1 point. We'll ask 10 questions, and at the end of the 10 questions, the person with the lowest score will get a bonus question for the opportunity to tie the score, and that is no matter how far they're behind in the score. If they're successful, the game will go to sudden death. The person in the lead at the end of regulation will go first, and each contestant will take turns trying to answer the sudden death multiple choice question until we have a winner. And now let's meet this week's 52nd episode contestants. Our reigning Jazzology champion is Jason Marshall, who is a baritone saxophonist who has performed with, among others, the late trumpeter Roy Hargrove and the Mingus Big Band. And Jason's most recent record release is titled New Beginnings.
Yes, sir.
Our challenger for this 52nd episode of Jazzology is a returning challenger, a returning champion. Actually, he was a champion way back when. He is Hank Shteamer. Hank has written about music professionally for more than 20 years, and he currently contributes to the New York Times, Pitchfork, and other outlets. And now let's get to today's Jazzology. And as our reigning champion, Jason Marshall goes first. You ready, Jason?
I am.
All right. Jason, on his first recording for the Savoy label, Charlie Parker was featured as a sideman for whom? Would that have been A, Dizzy Gillespie, B, Thelonious Monk, C, Tiny Grimes, D, Bud Powell, or E, none of the above? Which one is it, Jason?
Oh, it was a sideman, and you said for the Savoy label, correct?
Correct.
There's an obvious answer, but I'm gonna go with E, none of the above.
That is incorrect.
All right.
So it is one of the above.
Yeah, clearly.
Hank, you ready to try and steal this point?
Yeah.
On his first recording for the Savoy label, Charlie Parker was featured as a sideman for whom? Would that have been A, Dizzy Gillespie, B, Thelonious Monk, C, Tiny Grimes, or D, Bud Powell? E, none of the above has been eliminated.
Yeah, I'm trying to hear the voice of Phil Schaap in my head here as I listen to these choices. This is a tough one. But I think, I don't think it's Monk. I don't think he was recording as a leader that early. And something's telling me I can't think of specific sessions with Dizzy or Bud. I have a sense that it's C, and I'm hearing this like in Phil Schaap's voice, like talking about maybe this was called like Romance Without Finance or something like that. And I'm gonna go for C. I'm just gravitating towards C.
That is correct. The correct answer is Tiny Grimes, the guitarist. And yeah, you had Romance Without Finance, correct? That was right. So you're up next, Hank. Which of the following piano players is from Jacksonville, Florida? These are contemporary piano players. Is it A, Brad Mehldau, B, Sullivan Fortner, C, Chris Davis, D, Craig Taborn, or E, Emmett Cohen?
That's a tough one. Well, I'm going to eliminate A and D. I know Mehldau is from. I just read his book. I think it's Connecticut, and Taborn's from Detroit, I believe. Man, I'm gonna have to say, yeah, for me it's between B and E. I'm gonna have to say, I'll say B, Sullivan Fortner.
That's incorrect. And Jason with a chance to steal the point. Jason, which of the following contemporary piano players is from Jacksonville, Florida? Is it A, Brad Mehldau, and B, Sullivan Fortner has been eliminated? C, Chris Davis, D, Craig Taborn, or E, Emmett Cohen?
All right. Yeah, I think my opponent was right, except for that Sullivan is from New Orleans. Taborn is from Detroit. Emmett, I think, is from Jersey. So I'm gonna go with C, Chris Davis.
Oh, that is incorrect. The correct answer is A, Brad Mehldau.
Wow.
He's indeed from Jacksonville, Florida, originally.
Got it.
All right. So Jason,
Tough one.
it's your turn. The score is 1-0. Hank's up 1 point.
Yep.
Jason, what 19-year-old tenor saxophonist made his first recordings with Bud Powell and Fats Navarro? Would that have been A, Stan Getz, B, Dexter Gordon, C, Sonny Rollins, D, Wardell Gray, or E, none of the above?
B, Dexter Gordon.
Incorrect. See, you should have ruminated, Jason.
Yeah, I should have.
So, Hank, with another chance to steal the point. Hank, what 19-year-old tenor saxophonist made his first recordings with Bud Powell and Fats Navarro? Was it A, Stan Getz? B, Dexter Gordon has been eliminated. C, Sonny Rollins. D, Wardell Gray. Or E, none of the above?
Sorry, it was okay. Bud Powell and Fats Navarro, you said.
Yep.
I'm trying to. I wish I could open that Sonny Rollins book that's right back there on the shelf.
Mine's right behind me too.
I'm going to try to telepathically project into that book. But I think I'm going to go with Sonny Rollins. C. That's my sense.
That is correct. Sonny Rollins recorded with Bud Powell and Fats Navarro at the tender age of 19. Proving once again that young phenoms are not a new phenomenon in this music. So, Hank, you're up next. In the 71st annual Downbeat Magazine Jazz Critics Poll in 2023, one of the top 10 albums of the year was Charles Lloyd's album titled Trios Chapel on Blue Note Records. Who was the guitar player on that record? Was it A, John Abercrombie, B, Pat Martino, C, Julian Lage, D, John Schofield, or E, Bill Frisell?
Yeah, I remember these Charles Lloyd records. I believe there was like 3 of them. And I'm almost certain that Abercrombie had passed away before that. And yeah, for me, it would have to be between Lodge and Frizzell. I don't know if Schofield or Martino playing with Lloyd. I'm going to go with E. Bill Frizzell.
That is correct. It was indeed Bill Frizzell who recorded with Charles Lloyd on that Trio's Chapel recording on the Blue Note label. So, Jason, you're up next. Time to play some catch up.
Yeah, you're right.
Jason, in the same 2023 Downbeat magazine critics poll, the Branford Marsalis Quartet placed in the top 10 in the jazz group category. Who was the drummer in the Branford Marsalis Quartet in 2023? Was it A, Nasheet Waits, B, Louis Nash, C, Jeff Tane Watts, D, Justin Faulkner, or E, Jonathan Blake?
It was my good friend Justin Faulkner.
It was indeed. It was Justin Faulkner.
Yep.
That is correct. This week's mid-show break is brought to you by Savage Content. Jazz lovers absolutely love Savage Content's YouTube channel for its exclusive performances and interviews featured in playlists like the Cutting Room Series, MCG Jazz Club Series, Pasquale Grasso, the Living Room Series, American Icons of Music, Conversations with Ramsey Lewis, the All Without Words Autism Art Therapy music videos, and over 51 episodes of your favorite Jazzology trivia show. Visit www.youtube.com/@SavageContent and subscribe now. Jason, you know, we have these questions in the mid-show break, and they usually relate around how you fell in love with jazz, but you and Hank have both been that route. You've both answered that question before. So, Jason, let me ask you, as a baritone saxophonist, did you start out your saxophone playing on the baritone? Or where did you start with your saxophone work?
I started playing saxophone in the 4th grade. I grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the 3rd grade year, they do the demonstration over the summer. Demonstration of all the instruments over the summer. The kids decide in the 4th grade if they're going to do band or chorus. So I decided on the saxophone. Started on the alto saxophone in 4th grade. In 5th grade, continued over the summer. Between 4th and 5th, I went to Timbermont Music Camp, and there was a brother named Montrell Smith. And he was like the star of the camp, and he played baritone saxophone. And so I had that experience, went through 5th grade playing alto. When I got to 6th grade, I was in a fight in band class. And my band director at the time was Miss Holly Pasquale. She's still doing great work in music education. She kept me in for recess as punishment for having fought during class. And I was kind of rummaging back in the music storage area, and I found a baritone. And I thought that was what I had seen in that camp. And she confirmed that and asked me if I was interested in it. And that was it. I started playing the baritone. I was 11 years old.
All right, so you've been in the low register ever since.
As of tomorrow, that'll be 30 years ago.
Oh, okay. All right, and Hank, as far as your writing, what originally and what continues to compel you about writing about music?
Oh man, that's a great question. Honestly, it's just a total obsession with music, and I think that sometimes, writing about it, I think, and maybe you find this too, but your friends and even family get sick of hearing you talk about it sometimes. So sometimes it's nice to have just like, you can just go to the page and just, obsess over it for as long as you want and spend as much time there. If you have this kind of never ending, passion for it. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. It's just, since I was a kid, music has kind of eclipsed all my other interests, and it's still that way. And I'm just happy to have a space where I can just kind of work through it and talk about what matters to me, and also, talk to the musicians, which is a huge part of what I do as well. And very honored to do so. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Hank, and thank you, Jason, for that little bit of background there. But, this week's record of the week is by the Sun Ra Orchestra. It's the Sun Ra Orchestra at the Showcase live in Chicago, which will officially be released on April 26th on what we call the actual label that it's on, but it's on Zev Feldman's part of Zev Feldman's Jazz Detective work. Sun Ra Orchestra live at the Showcase in Chicago. So, Hank, you're up next. Hank, the 2023 touring iteration of the Monterey Jazz Festival All-Stars Band that toured the country included which of the following vocalists? Would that have been A, Jamie Cullum, B, Gretchen Parlato, C, Samara Joy, D, Kurt Elling, or E, Kenny Washington?
That's a tough one. I'm not familiar with that particular tour, so I'm just kind of flying a little blind here. I'm sort of honestly, I'm sort of gravitating towards Samara Joy, really, just because she had such a huge year, and something tells me she might have been involved in that. So I'm just going to kind of go with my intuition there and say C.
Samara Joy. That is incorrect. Jason with an opportunity to steal the point. Jason, the 2023 touring iteration of the Monterey Jazz Festival All-Stars Band that toured the country included which of the following vocalists? Would that have been A, Jamie Cullum, B, Gretchen Parlato, C, Samara Joy has been eliminated, D, Kurt Elling, or E, Kenny Washington?
Okay. I don't know if Kenny Washington being a vocalist. Jamie Cullum, I think, also plays piano, so I don't think that was the vocalist. So for me, that leaves B and D. My sense is that it is B, Gretchen Parlato.
Nope. The correct answer is D, Kurt Elling.
Yeah.
That tour actually had two vocalists, Kurt Elling and Dee Dee Bridgewater.
Got it. Okay.
Yes, Kenny Washington. If you haven't heard him, he's someone you should hear. He is a vocalist from out in the Bay Area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's new to me. Got it.
All right. Jason, you're up next. Drummer, pianist, all-around multi-instrumentalist and composer, Tyshawn Sorey is a native of what city? Is Tyshawn Sorey from Boston, Massachusetts? Is he from B, Chicago, Illinois? Is he from C, Newark, New Jersey? Or D, New York City? Or E, Hackensack, New Jersey?
So I remember Tyshawn Sorey from weekly gigs at Cecil's Jazz Club. So that makes me think he is Closest to that would be Newark. So I'm going to go with C, Newark, New Jersey.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Daishan Sori is from Newark, New Jersey, indeed. All right, Hank. Vocalist Gretchen Parlato has recorded with which of the following artists? Would that be A, Terrence Blanchard, B, Marcus Miller, C, Lionel Lueke, D, Wayne Shorter, or E, all of the above?
That's a tough one.
They're all tough, Hank.
They're all tough. They are indeed. Yeah. I'm not familiar with the particular recordings with any of these artists that Gretchen did. I don't think, I don't know of one with Wayne, so I don't think it's all of the above. Something's telling me Lionel Lueke. I'm going to go with C.
You're going with C, Lionel Lueke? That is incorrect. So Jason with a chance to steal the point. Jason, vocalist Gretchen Parlato has recorded with which of the following artists? Would that be A, Terrence Blanchard, B, Lionel Lueke has been eliminated, D, Wayne Shorter, or E, all of the above?
Yeah. I know Gretchen and Lionel are real tight, so it's got to be E, all of the above.
Yes, indeed. By the process of elimination.
Right. Right.
She recorded with all of the above. So you steal the point, Jason. Jason is up 5-4, Hank. And Jason's turn is next. Jason, Horace Silver wrote the tune Split Kick while working with which band leader? This is Horace Silver as a sideman. Would that have been A, Art Blakey, B, Stan Getz, C, Lester Young, D, J.J. Johnson, or E, none of the above?
The answer is A, Art Blakey. The album is A Night at Birdland. 1954, Art Blakey Quintet.
But that's incorrect in this particular instance. So Hank with a chance to steal the Horace Silver wrote the tune Split Kick while working with which of the following band leaders? Art Blakey has been eliminated. So it must be B, Stan Getz, or C, Lester Young, or D, J.J. Johnson, or E, none of the above?
I probably would have said A too. I don't know of Horace working with Stan Getz or Lester Young. So I'm between D and E on this one. I think I'll go with D, J.J. Johnson.
That is incorrect as well. You see, Jason, Horace Silver brought that tune first to Stan Getz when Horace Silver was a sideman with Stan Getz. And that came before that first Messengers record with Art Blakey. That's
what is the album?
I don't have the name of the album, but it was indeed with Stan Getz where he first brought that tune. Because the Stan Getz gig came before the Messengers at Birdland. So Hank, you're up next. Jason is still up 5-4. Hank, who was the only vocalist featured on Miles Davis' classic record, Birth of the Cool? Was it A, Eddie Jefferson, B, Bob Dorough, King Pleasure, D, Sarah Vaughan, or E, Kenny Haygood?
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. I'm like trying to picture the liner notes for that record right now. I'm pretty positive it's not. I know Bob Dorough is on a later Miles record. I'm pretty positive it's not King Pleasure. I'm pretty positive it's not Sarah Vaughan. I'm going to go with E, Kenny Haygood.
That is correct. It was Kenny Haygood was the vocalist, the only vocalist that appeared on The Birth of the Cool. So, our score is now Hank 6 and Jason 5. And then now, for the opportunity for Jason to tie that score or to catch up. So, Jason, you ready to catch up?
Yep, I am.
All right, Jason. Dizzy Gillespie founded his DG record label out of what city? Was that A, Philadelphia, B, Chicago, C, New York City, D, Detroit, or E, Newark?
I don't know the answer off the top of my head. And most of the things that I know lately to do with Dizzy Gillespie are out of New Jersey. So I'm going to say E, Newark.
That is incorrect. He actually wrote that tune out of Detroit.
Wait. Wrote what song?
Which was the least likely answer, I guess you could say, but that's actually where that piece.
Wait, what song?
Where he founded DG record label. The DG.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where he found the DG, was in Detroit.
Got it. Okay.
That means that Hank Shteamer is our winner today.
Okay.
Congratulations, Hank, on winning our 52nd episode of Jazzology. Thank you, Jason, for competing once again on Jazzology and for being a returning champion today.
All right.
Great playing with you, Jason. I really enjoyed it.
Likewise.
We encourage each and every one of you to try your hand and play Jazzology. And if anyone watching would like to become a contestant on Jazzology, click the link below and simply fill out the form. You must be 18 years or older, and be sure to follow us on social media at Jazzology Trivia Show to get all the latest news and updates. Thanks so much to Jason and Hank and to everyone who joined us for our 52nd episode of Jazzology today. And I have to say that as returning champions, the questions were a little tougher today.
I see that.
Yeah.
Remember, you can check out Jazzology every other Friday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you miss the show live, you can find the archive on the Savage Content YouTube channel. And we will see you the next time on Jazzology.